Hi friends, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I think are some of the best releases of 2024 thus far. We are already halfway through the year and there have been so many releases. We're going to dive into it, grab a snack, grab something to drink, and let's get into the video. Let's start off with eyeshadow palettes. As I was getting everything ready to film today's video, I went to my eyeshadow palette category and I was like, I don't think I tried that many palettes this year. I feel like eyeshadow palettes haven't really been the it thing this year, which is very understandable, but there are 3 palettes in particular that have truly stood out to me that I have tried. The first one is this palette right here from Glamlite. This is the Glamlite X Fresh Prince palette. All of the matte shadows that you see on my eyes today is this palette. I love this palette. I think it is perfect for the summertime. There's so many bright, fun colors, and y'all know I love me some colorful eyeshadows, but I just love how fun and fresh this palette is. Every time I've been wanting to create a colorful look, this is the palette that I've been reaching for, and I wanted to use this palette today with this release right here from Odin's Eye. This is their new single shadows that they just released. This right here is definitely one of my most used palettes. All of these are single shadows that you can buy individually, and they're just in a magnetic palette. So this isn't really a curated palette, but y'all, when I tell you the shimmers, all of like their textured shadows are beautiful. I have this shade on all over my lid today, and I just think it is such a beautiful shade, and it is so eye-catching. Y'all know like multi-chromes are in the $20 price range, but these Odin's Eye multi-chromes are like $14.90 each. You will not be disappointed in Odin's Eye's multi-chromes because they are so eye-catching and so beautiful. I'm sure you probably already know what this palette is, but this is a palette that really did take me by surprise. When I first got this palette and tried it out, I wasn't expecting it to become such a staple for me, a palette that I'm constantly reaching for my everyday makeup look, and it is this palette right here from Danessa Myricks. This is her Blooming Romance palette. Honestly, this is like me in an eyeshadow palette. If I was to create an eyeshadow palette, it'll be a bunch of shades like this, and I love the gradient in this palette. It's also a very unique palette as well because you do have like a more pomade-y cream to powder kind of formula. Also have your regular eyeshadow formula, but I think Danessa killed it with this one. I really cannot wait to see what else she gives us in the Groundworks line because this is truly one of my favorites. I don't feel like anything would top this particular palette from her for me unless she was to come out with a rainbow palette, or maybe even like, I don't know, maybe something with a little bit more color, maybe that would top this one. But as of right now, this palette is not being topped. Danessa has released so many products this year, but so far this has been my absolute favorite from her and definitely one of my most used palettes. I hit pan on one of the shades in here, so that says a lot. Moving into complexion products, let's get into some primers. I am very happy that CoverGirl came out with these primers because when I tell you, they hit it on the nose. I feel like they took all of the best primers on the market and created their own more affordable primer. And I feel like with this whole line that they came out with this year, you're gonna find literally your perfect primers. I have 3. I think they killed these primers. So the first one is the CoverGirl Skin Enhancer Sticky Grip Primer. What I love the most about this is that it's a thinner formula to where you can really evenly spread it on the face, but then once it starts to dry down, it dries down to a slight tacky gripping primer. I love that. I feel like it's such an easy to use primer. I feel like if you found that other primers were way too sticky and you didn't really have enough playtime with it, this one is perfect, and they killed it with this one. They did a very good job with this primer. Next one is the Velvet Blur Primer, and this is truly a dupe for my favorite primer of all time, which is the Cali Ray So Blown Primer. This does what it says it's going to do. This is going to give you a filter-like blurred finish. Once you put this on, you see an immediate difference in the blur of your pores. It is such a good formula. I haven't even been reaching for my Cali Ray primer because I've been using this one, and this one is so good. I love that it comes in a pump too because I feel like it's a lot easier to use. If I was tweaking my Cali Ray primer, I would put it in a pump. The last one is a very interesting one, but I really love it. This is their Jelly Bronze Glow Primer. So basically this is their glowy primer, but it has like a gel consistency, so it's very hydrating on the skin. So there's 2 different shades. There's like a lighter shade, and then there's this one, which is the more bronzy shade. This looks like a glow filter on your skin. Also love that this is one of those glowy primers that you can see underneath your makeup. It just adds this really beautiful, healthy radiance to the skin. I am very impressed with all 3 of these primers from CoverGirl. I think they did an absolutely amazing job with these primers. I have my full primer, makeup prep routine right here in this, and I'm actually thinking of going and looking at their other primers because I love these 3 so much, and they all do something different, and I love it. This next product is a foundation, and I'm sure you already know what it is. The Urban Decay Face Bond. This is one of those products for me where you try it and you just don't expect it to become a holy grail, but then it does and you're just blown away by it. That is this for me. When I tell you I have not reached for any other foundation in my collection, I am like halfway done with this. When I said this was going to be my summer foundation, I meant it. I was not kidding. This is my go-to summer foundation. It lasts such a long time on the skin. I have it on today, and I just feel like this is just one of those products that gives me the coverage and the lightweight feel that I look for in a foundation. I just think it is so beautiful, and I love, love, love how this looks on the skin. Next up is powders. My favorite loose setting powder is this one right here from Makeup Forever. This is the HD Skin Setting Powder, and I have mine in the shade Banana. Ever since this powder has come out, this has been the only loose powder I have been using. I love how it gives like that blurred effect on the skin. Love how this doesn't look cakey on the skin. You can put so much powder on and it's still not gonna look like you have any powder on your skin. It is so beautiful. And this is actually a reformulated version of their HD setting powder, and I think this is miles better. Their last setting powder in the HD line was very chunky and it wasn't as smooth and as blurring, but this is the complete opposite. It is so blurring and smoothing. This is one of the best. The Natasha Denona powder foundation. So I have mine in the shade NY12, and when I tell you this right here is the best powder foundation I have ever tried. I've tried a lot of powder foundations, but none of the ones that I've tried blur as well as this one. That's why I love this for an under eye powder. I love this for a brightening powder as well. I love how this just blends my under eye and my blush together seamlessly, gets rid of the harsh lines. It is perfection, and Natasha truly killed it. She's come out with a lot this year, but this product right here is by far my favorite release from her this year. And it is very pricey, but I do think it is worth the money. Now let's get into your girl's favorite category. Now this was actually kind of difficult in a way because I've tried so many new blushes this year. It's not even funny. But I was like, what are the blushes I reach for the most that I'm constantly going back for? Just because it's not in this video doesn't mean I don't like it. You gotta be very picky here. There's been a lot of releases and not everything can be the best so far. First one is the IT Cosmetics Sun Blush. I have mine in the shade Sun Gaze. I've talked about this a lot recently on my channel, but for good reason, because this formula is chef's kiss. It's like a cream to powdery satin almost kind of formula. It's very beautiful on the skin. I love it for every day. I'm wearing 2 blushes today because I wanted to do like a blush little concoction just to use a little bit more, but I love pairing pink and orange blushes together. I think they look so pretty. Like you can just see the pink and you can see the orange. It kind of gives like sunset vibes. Definitely one of my favorite products from IT Cosmetics. They really killed it. It's a thin formula, but it packs a punch and looks beautiful on the skin. I cannot say that enough. Hopefully in the demo you see what I'm talking about. The next blush is this one right here from Kosas. As disappointed as I am in Kosas shade range on these blushes, I cannot deny the fact that this formula is one of the best on the market. It is such a beautiful, long-lasting baked formula, and it's so interesting to me because a lot of brands, have been going the more cream and liquid route for blushes, but I feel like they're missing the mark with the baked blushes. Baked blushes are like the best of both worlds because you can make them kind of like radiant but not too radiant and still kind of like give that lit from within glow and still kind of give that pigment as well. I feel like Kosas killed it with this. I'm already a huge fan of the Kosas Cloud Set powder. That's one of my favorite pressed powders, but having it in blush form is just 10 times better. I just wish there were more shades because I would personally love to have more than just one shade. Even though I love this shade, I just would love to have, more than one shade in my collection. And I have it on right now and you can see like that glow here on, the apples in my cheeks. And I just think Kosas killed it. they killed it with that one. Now, the next blush release that I think is one of the best so far this year is the KVD Good Apple Blush Balm Duos. This was a formula that I really was not expecting to love because I thought it was going to be really glowy and dewy and just wet looking on the skin. This actually dries down to like a soft matte finish. It kind of reminds me of the IT Cosmetics Sun Blush, except this formula is a little bit thicker than the Sun Blush. I feel like that's also why I love it. You can use it under powder, on top of powder. You get two for the price of one. I haven't really been seeing many people talk about it since it came out, but I'm here to tell you, if you're still curious about these are a great blush to pick up. If you love a pigmented cream blush that kind of has like a soft matte finish, you're gonna love these. Now, the last two blushes I want to talk about are in a palette kind of form. I would have been crazy not to include these releases in this video because listen, when Made by Mitchell came out with this, I needed to have these blushes. I've never seen a brand come out with a blush palette this big like this, and I already love this formula. This is one of my absolute favorite formulas, and I wanted every single shade that he had in the line in a palette. This is the Made by Mitchell Curve Case. I have been tapping into this so much. I think it is great for travel. This is literally all that I need, and if you haven't tried this formula, I'm telling you, it's one of the best. It sets beautifully with the powder. I had to include this in this video because I love me some Made by Mitchell and I love the curve cases. Now, the other palette I have is a little bit newer, but this formula is so good. It's still the curve case formula, but it's a radiant curve case blush formula. This is the Comet case, and basically this is cream highlighters and cream blushes. These are beautiful. I just cannot recommend this enough. You get the best of both worlds in here. You get highlighters and you get blushes, and they're just so beautiful and so reflective. Last blush release I wanted to share is these blushes right here from NARS. This is their new reformulated talc-free blushes. You all know it was something serious when your girl ended up with 5 blushes from NARS. That's a lot of blushes, okay? That's a lot, but I love this formula because it's such a buildable formula, but it looks beautiful and soft on the skin. I love how it just melts into the skin. Sometimes powder blushes can sit on top of the skin, but this formula does not. These blushes are just one of those powder blushes in my collection that just won't let me down. When I need a good, solid blush formula, this is what I'm reaching for. NARS, they killed it. Let's get into some lip products because there have been so many, but I was very picky with this. So the first product I wanted to talk about is a lip liner that I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me talk about, but it is the Freck Makeout Club lip liner. I have mine in the shade 6. I'm wearing it today, and when I tell you this is one of the most long-lasting lip liners on the market, I'm not kidding. You want a lip liner that's gonna last all day, where you can eat and drink and it's not going anywhere. This lip liner is the last thing to go, and even then, I only have to reapply my center and not the lip liner. This right here is the best. I already knew I was gonna include these in this video. These are the Give Beauty lip gels. I love this formula. Like, so many lip products in one, to where it's so long lasting, but it also is thick enough to where it really cushions the lip, and it smells good. It smells like Clarine candy to me. It smells so good. I'll put a little on. I have something else on, but I wanted to just put a little bit of this on because it smells and tastes so good. It tastes like a Clarine candy, and I love it. And it's super glossy and very long lasting. I have 2 shades, but I definitely want to go and pick out more of these because I love this lip formula. A newer formula that I am in love with is this right here from Fenty. This is the Gloss Bomb Lip Oils. I have been reaching for these so much because these are the perfect summer lippy. I do have this shade on right now, Super Fine Sugar, but of course I just put the Give on top of it, but I just love this. I really hope that Fenty gives us more shades of these because this right here, I love this formula so much, equally to the Gloss Bomb formula. And the Gloss Bomb lip formula is my favorite lip gloss formula ever. If you're looking for a lip gloss, I'm gonna immediately say go to Fenty. I love how it's not sticky. I love that it has the shine of a gloss but the feel of a lip oil. It's very comfortable. It also has a vanilla scent. It's not exactly like the Gloss Bomb. This one's more vanilla. For any of you who are curious, I know someone asked me that recently, and Yeah, it's very much more vanilla than anything. Last product I wanted to share is a random one, but it is this setting spray from Glamlite. This is a Glamlite X Fresh Prince setting spray. The reason why I have this product in this video is because this reminds me of my MAC Fix Plus. MAC Fix Plus is like $34. This is so inexpensive. I truly believe that this is a dupe for the MAC Fix Plus because of the finish of it. It has like a natural finish. The same way you would use your MAC Fix Plus to kind of like help to melt all the powders together is exactly how I would use this spray right here. And I'm telling you, it gives you the same effect that MAC Fix Plus does. And I love that I finally have a cheaper alternative to my MAC Fix Plus. My Fix Plus ain't going nowhere. I'm still gonna always repurchase it, but I feel like, you know, I have an alternative to where I don't have to repurchase my MAC Fix Plus as often as I do because I do have a cheaper option that gives me the same effect as that. That's one of the best things I could personally ask for in a 2024 makeup release. That is it for what I think are some of the best releases of 2024 so far. Let me know what you guys think down below. What do you think are some of the best releases of this year? We are halfway there. We've already gotten so many releases. We still have another half of the year to go. We're gonna see if any of these products are gonna make it to my final best releases of 2024 video. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what the rest of this year brings. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!